There is a season that you're being called to honor within yourself right now. We literally had 444 on the clock as I was opening up. And so that's all about a protection message. I'm going to go ahead and actually find it real quick and then read it to you. And then we will begin. But fours are all essentially about introspection. It's also an internal card, and they are ruled by the frequency of Saturn, which is the bridge into the tangible realm. As I say that, we have 666, which is 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, 6 protons. So it's the entire foundation that constructs this entire beautiful, physical, tangible, third-dimensional realm that allows the soul to experience the journey of creation itself. Saturn is time, and how we choose conscious action in this system, that cause that ends up creating the effect. And our lives are simply the effects that we're seated in based upon every cause or choice that we had chosen, or every indecision where we had left something to chance and we had transversed along certain continuums that we now find ourselves seated within right now. So I'm seeing something around steering the direction of this. Anyway, this is going off topic, but maybe it's on topic. All right, 444 is a protection message. I always see protection as awareness. And the message that was coming up was, the observer within me is greater than the experience unfolding before me. This would insinuate, seems to be the keyword of the day, that I'm seeing there's uncertainty on the path laid out before you. And it's just because you have no point of reference for it. Okay. All right. So 444 is, I'm seeing, but don't mistake your comfort zone for what is aligned with your highest possible expression. All right. This is your time to take confidence in all it is that you pursue. The divine universe is working through you and protecting you. Time has come to allow all the doors of opportunity to welcome you with open arms. I feel the loving care of the divine protecting me, and I allow myself to pursue growth and opportunity. So again, there's a major opportunity for growth. Now, the vision that was coming through, and this is what I was guided to work with you through today, which was, the version of you inside of the pattern that is unconscious to the pattern that is unfolding through it and all around it is different than the version of you that is conscious inside of the pattern. The version of you that created the pattern is different to the one that is observing, the one inside of it. Now, I'm seeing it as when you begin to, let's say, transcend the experience itself, and you're seated at a higher level of understanding, essentially a higher octave or higher awareness to your current set of circumstances, you're then able to see the full landscape of time-space, where it's very simple, all right? It's more simple than you think. It's a level of precognitive abilities. And it's also very logical, right? This is us bridging the gap between the quantum and what it is that we're choosing to collapse from the quantum into form. It goes as simple as this. If I choose to make this decision, what would be the most likely sequence of events that would unfold? That is a level of precognitive abilities. It's a level of foreseeing potential destinies that exist within the field already before they unfold, right? If I decide to do this thing, if I decide not to do this thing, what are the different continuums that I may experience? It's very practical. It's very integrated. Okay, so what I was seeing is someone becoming like aware of the pattern while they're inside of it. And when you become aware of it, one consciousness is aware of the fact that maybe they're seated inside of a timeline of experience that doesn't feel in alignment with their highest possible expression. Then we create a gap, and that gap is called choice. So I'm seeing this as the awareness is your form of protection. It becomes your guiding light into a new realm of experiences, and it feels like a divergence point that ends up becoming a connecting point into literally something new existing within the field. And the only reason it's new is because it's unlike anything that you've experienced before, at least as this version of self. Now, the key to what it is that I was seeing was that awareness they were able to anchor while inside of the experience and say, okay, I'm seeing this needs to be readjusted, this needs to be reconfigured, this needs to shift here. I'm seeing someone kind of just realign almost like solar dials. Okay, it's very interesting. Where you're realigning certain things within your experience of, I maybe would like a little bit more of this, maybe a little bit less of this, maybe none of this, I could do without this. This is what I'm seeing like what would be more favorable to me, what I feel like would be more productive or conducive for me at this stage of my soul's evolution. And so from that entertainment of new timelines, and I'm hearing being open and curious to what that may hold for you, you begin to reprogram the system in such a way far beyond what the unconscious programs would have run. This is from what was to what can be, to what is available to you. And why? Because inside of your DNA, you hold the potential of everything that you've been and everything in which you have already become, everything in which you can experience the journey of becoming. I'm going to go ahead and get a message from the angel number card and see what comes through. Oh, 1010 growth. Okay, so you're growing into certain experiences and you're also outgrowing certain experiences and resonance. Okay, it feels like something has maybe been complete here, right? 10 is all about cycles. And so within that space, you may be deciding what do you need most in that moment, not what the fear or the conditioning has needed most in that moment. It kind of reminds me of, the version that you had to be in order to get here is no longer the version that you have to be moving forward. So give yourself permission to evolve beyond certain unconscious patterns of behavior. Okay, so spiritual awareness is opening you to all it is that you're ready to see. Your destiny is being fulfilled. Keep your intentions pure with your eyes looking ahead, and you will continue to increase the growth that is here. And again, unconscious, predetermined destinies or programs is saying, hey, this is your destiny. This is the limited selection of timelines available to you. And that is the conditioning of the world in which we can adopt. Yet when we break free, and I'm seeing it as like a budding flower begin to bloom, you can open up so many different dimensions of experience. And I'm seeing it as each petal as a dimension, like each, it reminds me of this song of Watch Me Unfold, Watch Me Unfold. Okay, take me to a place where there's no time or space. Do you remember that song where it's like, where anything can happen, take me to a place? I think it's fantasy. I think the song is fantasy. So there could be something in which you're exploring within the realms of your inner mind. You are creating through the pineal gland. So you're creating in the etheric realms. You're scanning different potential destinies or timelines for yourself. And that's you receiving a preview of potential life upcomings. And then when you align your actions in the physical accordingly, you align yourself with that trajectory. When you stay true to that path, the outcome that you foresaw begins unfolding in experience. You begin experiencing the journey towards the outcome. So the how and the when something happens is being revealed to you as you realign yourself. But you already know what you prefer. You already know where you'd potentially prefer. And this is how I was seeing it, right? I'm going to go ahead and actually read the lyrics from the fantasy song because I'm so sure there's going to be something prominent in there. Yet, it reminds me of Coraline. I spoke about Coraline a lot on this channel. If you guys know, I absolutely love the subliminals inside of this movie. And I was seeing it as when we open ourselves up to new dimensions of experience, new things begin rendering into our continuum. And the continuum that we're on, it literally reflects what our internal state of being is. So if we continue moving only within the realms of what is familiar, then life continues presenting familiar possibilities to us. It's almost as though reality only renders what is within the realms of our current reference point. And that is the scene of Coraline where she's walking inside of the construct, right, inside of the other world. And at first, everything that she encounters is familiar enough for her to navigate. It's literally her world reflecting the boundaries of what she's already willing to explore, right? The things and realms in which, or experiences that she's already explored, that she's already familiar with. But the moment that she begins venturing beyond what is familiar, she opens new doors, she starts asking different questions and walking beyond her previous reference points. This entire new reality field begins revealing itself. It literally starts constructing itself or collapsing into tangible material creation. And it wasn't that the possibilities suddenly just appeared, because they were always available in the field. It just simply required for her to move beyond the familiar before they could render into her experience. And perhaps our lives work within the same way. We have to put a new cause into the system that ultimately ends up creating a new effect. Because as we shift the paradigm through which we perceive reality and the potential that, okay, let's just say potential destinies that reality has in store for us, then our actions naturally begin to align with that new understanding. And those very actions end up becoming the bridge between the visible and the invisible realms. The quantum or infinite potential begins materializing or translating itself into tangible creation or tangible form, readily available for you to experience and participate like with in this dimension, right? So that's literally what this is. I feel like that's what this whole message is. And it reminds me of something that happened yesterday when I was going to the beach, and it was so beautiful. I was doing qigong in the ocean. But if I backtrack, right, before I left, it was very overcast. And I was thinking, it's really overcast, but I'm going to go anyway. And it's funny because as I open up that timeline of experience, I decided to go a complete different route to the beach than I would usually go. And suddenly the clouds started clearing and the sky started shining through and the breeze started, kissing my skin, and it was so magical. And then it reminded me how the earth herself is this very intelligently self-organized organism of consciousness. And so she understands her own internal season. She understands where there's rain that needs to come down in order to nourish the land and the beings that are existing within that field. She understands where there are, seasons of drought that are necessary in order to contribute towards, the ring of the tree and how that tree will begin to utilize that as a reference point within its own experience. It's just that she knows when these seasons are needed in order for us to flourish or rejuvenate or to cleanse or to grow from. And we are an extension of the earth herself. So we innately within us hold this higher intelligence when it comes to the movement of our own cycles and the movement of our own seasons. And I'm seeing it as a new season desiring to emerge from you. Okay, like the new season, it reminds me of when you have an old season in a TV series or something, and then there's a new season that's brought around. And the characters have developed, the characters have grown from that off season, and then they're stepping back on stage. It's this type of energy. They're stepping back, they've evolved, they've grown, maybe their voice has changed, maybe their hair looks different. It's that type of energy where you aren't designed to play the same role from the last season into this season. And that's what I'm seeing. Something that is going to be rejuvenating, something that's going to be more productive, something that's going to be more conducive. You've reached that level where you have to, I'm just seeing like kick it up a notch, but in a different way. Does this make sense? You have to transcend far beyond your comfort zone. And I feel like we're all being asked, what are we willing to honor within our own experience? What are we willing to honor within ourselves when it comes to this shift of experience? So let's go ahead and get a message for this. Every season holds its own wisdom. Every season deserves to be honored. So what are you honoring this season? What do you feel like you're being called to honor this season? Let me know. And what season are you in right now? Do you feel like you're in fall or autumn or winter or summer, or do you feel like you're more in a spring type of energy? Or do you feel like you're simultaneously kind of experiencing them all? Yeah, jeweled web, connectivity. Okay, I know I always say that every time a card comes out, it's like my favorite card, but there are a few that just sit in this context. It just meshes so freaking well. Okay, so I'm going to read it for you and you're going to see exactly what I mean. Jeweled web, connectivity, and then you also have dust devil at the base, moving out stagnation, which is talking about you can't expect this dream ally to behave or bring niceness. That's not what it's designed to do. This area of your life is designed to bring chaos. And it's like sometimes, you know, if we talk about the dust devil, there's this like a tornado type of energy and it's chaos. It's chaos that you're viewing through the lens of the cosmos. And it's understanding that these, let's say, drastic events, or really it's okay, we've been conditioned to believe that even what do we call them, natural disasters are okay, from a higher perspective, natural disasters are literally designed because the land herself and the countries themselves also have soul contractual agreements. And so they bring about the refinement of energy in order to ascend into a higher octave, in order to ascend into a higher order. So I'm seeing it as natural disaster events. Does anyone remember Sims? Like way back in the day, Sim City, and you used to have the natural disasters like, oh man, it came and wrecked my entire city. But there's something beautiful about that collapse, because that point of destabilization becomes the very reason for your transformation, where it kind of runs you out of town, or it requires for you to rebuild something from the ground up. And that could be this version of self that you're evolving into. Like, what does that mean for you at this stage of your life? Yeah, moving out of stagnation is pretty interesting with 32. Let me go ahead and read it real quick. So connectivity, no separation, and the feeling state. Approaching any oracle requires you to come up with certain expectations. You're either looking for confirmation of what you already know or attempting to shed light on what eludes you on the obvious path that you're on. So this is saying that you already know the answer. You're asking whether you'll reach a desired goal of some kind. You're rarely able to see beyond memory or projection. And so, naturally, everyone comes to the oracle with a narrow perception of what's possible. Imagine that the answer to your question is not about landing at a particular destination, meeting a goal, connecting to a special lover, reaching an end game, or experiencing anything specific, but instead, you discover a shimmering web of jewels that you didn't know existed. The world is interconnected in a living web of energy. So it's like the morphic field, right? It's the instruction manual of how the non-physical manifests into form. And you are that bridge. You hold within your entire multidimensional architecture morphic resonance. And so you'll always attract what is in resonance with your possible highest alignment as long as you apply yourself. That's literally how you anchor what you can see within your mind in order for you to look at it in your reality, in the physical. Okay. It isn't possible to know how any of it works, but know this. What is in your highest good is a sparkling jewel that lights up for you among this web of possibilities. Yeah, I always talk about this as, I remember in Dendra, I was talking about it as the invisible blueprint or matrix. It's the web of Indra. Yeah. So it's plasma-like beings that remind you of your plasma-like state. Because you are a bioplasma being or bioelectrical being or multidimensional, interdimensional being, which just means that you have multiple dimensions to yourself. There are multiple different expressions, you know, there's multiple different versions of you that are yet to be lived out. There's versions of you that you're also outgrowing. And so there is beauty in the journey of your own evolution and being able to witness what version you get to experience yourself as during this season. Oh, I was going to say something. Anyway, you just need to know how you want to feel and choose this consciously. The web of possibilities. Take your focus off getting anywhere, practice feeling and being in a place where your desired experience has already come to pass. So can you feel the emotion of the future before it arrives? Because that's what you're seeking. You're seeking the essence of it, whether the essence is freedom, whether the essence is safety, whether the essence is, connection to the self, whether the essence is gratitude, accomplishment, achievement. It's always the essence. Okay. Who will you be when this is true for you? Can you be that now? Feel that now and practice that. The better you know your path within this web of life, the more it will light up for you. It's celebrating you already. Yeah, I keep seeing it as it is the essence. Ultimately, that's what we're seeking. So can we feel the energy of what this season holds and carries for us before it even arrives? A good traveler is the one that knows how to travel with the mind. So, should we do one more? Let's get Cosmo's Oracle message. Solar flares. I love this card. Okay, it's very much Year of the Fire Horse kind of energy. Solar flares is essentially something that was previously withheld that is now being released with. I'm seeing a force to be reckoned with type of energy. So this is you going full out on something. It could be you unleashing this energy towards a creative project. I always see it as creative life force as being really intentionally, not just directed, but redirected. Okay, so it feels like you're calling your life force back from just situations, experiences, timelines that have left energy just feeling scattered, and that just could be due to alignment purposes and where you're being called to just realign or reposition yourself for. Now, the frequency difference, I want to say, of those timelines doesn't equate to the value that we're still able to uncover from the experience itself. Again, every chapter or every season has held wisdom. Okay, wisdom that you're integrating, wisdom that you're able to impart, wisdom that you're able to share. I love this because you have Pluto at the base, which is an unavoidable transformation as well. That's occurring. It's a poetic legend. And so there could be a legendary kind of poetic unfolding that's occurring within your own life story. And so the turning of the page can feel like a struggle, but simultaneously a beautiful one. So I'm gonna love and leave you right there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing because we'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. And let me know, what is the theme for this new... Okay, this is even better. If you made it to this point, comment down below. What would be... You know how in every TV series, whenever there's a new chapter or a new season, you have the pilot and then you also have the kind of title for what the episode is. What is the title for the pilot of this new season? Is it like Melissa finds herself, or, Marcus enters into a complete new paradigm, or is it the return to the self that Jessica can experience? Like, let me know what that pilot would be for you, right? What is that launch pad? What is that lifting? What is the vibrational essence or foundation of understanding that you have innately about this new chapter that then becomes the realm of experience that you are going to witness yourself exploring in a linear fashion. So until next time, my love. Also check out Ullisted if you're looking for some high quality AAA grade gemstones. You have 2 discount codes for that in the description box. There's a small family owned business that handcraft these beautiful gemstones. 1/3 of the proceeds are donated towards otter sanctuaries. And I'll speak to you very soon. Until next time, bye.